Welcome to Code Your English, the home to learn and grow fast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Code Your English. I am really happy that you are here with me today. If you are listening to improve your English speaking and listening skills, you are in the right place. Here, we learn English in a simple and natural way. We talk about real-life topics. We think deeply, but we use easy words and clear sentences. So take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin today's journey together. Today, we are going to talk about something very important. We are going to talk about happiness. Almost every person in this world wants to be happy. We wake up in the morning, we go to work, we study, we try to earn money, we build relationships, and we set goals. But if we look closely, we do all these things because we believe they will make us happy one day. Many people think happiness means money. They say, "When I become rich, I will be happy." Some people think happiness means success. They believe, "When I get a better job, when I become famous, when people respect me, then I will feel happy." Others think happiness is about having the perfect relationship, the perfect house, or the perfect life. Social media also shows us smiling faces, beautiful places, and successful people. It looks like happiness is something big and outside of us. But let me ask you a simple question. Is that really true? Is happiness only about money, success, or fame? Or is there something deeper and more psychological behind it? What is real happiness? Is it something we find, or is it something we build? Take a moment and think about your own life. When was the last time you truly felt peaceful inside? Not just excited for a few minutes, but calm and satisfied. Was it because you bought something? Or was it because you connected with someone? Maybe it was a small moment, like a simple conversation, a quiet walk, or finishing a small goal. In today's episode, we are going to explore the psychology of happiness in a very simple and clear way. We will understand what happiness really means. We will talk about short-term happiness and long-term happiness. We will learn how our brain works and why happiness sometimes does not last long. We will also discover practical habits that can help us feel happier in daily life. This episode will not only help you understand happiness better, but it will also help you practice your English. Listen carefully to the vocabulary. Notice how the sentences are structured. If you want, you can pause and repeat some sentences aloud. This is how you improve your speaking skills. So stay with me until the end. Let's learn English, and at the same time, let's learn how to understand happiness in a deeper and more meaningful way. What is happiness? Now let us move deeper into our topic and understand something very important. What is happiness? This sounds like a simple question, but when we really think about it, it becomes deeper. Many people use the word happy every day. We say, "I am happy today," or "I feel happy for you." But in psychology, happiness is more than just a quick smile or a short moment of excitement. First, we need to understand that happiness is not only smiling or laughing. A person can smile in a photo and still feel empty inside. A person can laugh at a joke but still feel stressed or worried about life. So happiness is not just a facial expression. It is not only about how we look on the outside. Real happiness is about how we feel on the inside. In simple psychological terms, happiness is a feeling of peace and satisfaction with life. It is a state where you feel calm, balanced, and okay with who you are and where you are in life. It does not mean that your life is perfect. It does not mean you have no problems. It means that even with problems, you feel stable and hopeful. Happiness also includes positive emotions. Positive emotions are feelings like joy, love, gratitude, hope, and interest. When you feel thankful for what you have, that is part of happiness. When you feel connected to someone you care about, that is part of happiness. When you feel proud because you finished a task, that is also part of happiness. These positive emotions are like small lights in your day. They make your life brighter. But psychology also tells us that happiness is not only about emotions, it also includes meaning in life. Meaning means that you feel your life has purpose. You feel that what you do matters. For example, if you are studying hard to build your future, and you believe your effort has value, you feel a deeper kind of happiness. If you help your family or support a friend, and you know you are making a difference, that creates meaningful happiness. Now let us talk about an important difference. There is short happiness, and there is deep happiness. Short happiness is usually connected to pleasure. It is fast, exciting, and strong, but it does not last long. For example, imagine you are eating your favorite chocolate. In that moment, you feel happy. Your brain releases chemicals that make you feel good. You enjoy the taste. But after a few minutes, the chocolate is finished. The feeling becomes weaker. Soon, it disappears. This is short happiness. It is real, but it is temporary. Another example of short happiness is buying something new. Maybe you buy new clothes or a new phone. At first, you feel excited. You feel proud. But after some days or weeks, the excitement becomes normal. You get used to it. This shows us that pleasure is powerful, but it does not stay forever. Now let us think about deep happiness. Deep happiness grows slowly, but it lasts longer. It is connected to meaning, relationships, and personal growth. For example, imagine you help someone who is struggling. Maybe you listen to a friend who feels sad. Maybe you teach someone something useful. In that moment, you may not jump with excitement, like when eating chocolate. But inside, you feel warm. You feel valuable. You feel connected. That feeling can stay with you for a long time. When you remember it, you still feel good. Helping someone creates deep happiness because it gives meaning. It tells your brain that you are important and useful. It strengthens relationships. It builds trust. This kind of happiness is calmer, but stronger. Psychologists often explain happiness as a combination of pleasure and meaning. Pleasure gives us quick, positive emotions. Meaning gives us long-term satisfaction. If we only look for pleasure, we may feel excited for short moments, but empty later. If we only focus on meaning and never allow ourselves small pleasures, life may feel too serious. So, balance is important. Another important point is that happiness is not the same for everyone. What makes you happy may not make another person happy. Some people feel happy when they are alone reading a book. Others feel happy when they are with many people at a party. Some feel happy when they achieve career success. Others feel happy when they live a simple and peaceful life. Psychology teaches us that happiness is personal. It depends on our values, our personality, and our experiences. We also need to understand that happiness is not a constant state. No one feels happy all the time. It is normal to feel sad, tired, angry, or confused sometimes. These emotions are part of being human. Real happiness does not mean removing all negative emotions. It means learning how to manage them and still see good things in life. So, in simple words, Happiness is not just smiling. It is not only pleasure. It is a mix of positive emotions, inner peace, satisfaction, and meaning. It includes short, joyful moments, like eating chocolate, and deep, meaningful moments, like helping someone. When we understand this difference, we start to see happiness in a new way. We stop chasing only quick pleasure, and we begin to build something deeper and more stable inside us. And this understanding is the first step in learning the psychology of happiness. 2 types of happiness. Now let us talk more clearly about something very important in the psychology of happiness. There are 2 main types of happiness. Understanding these 2 types can completely change the way we see our life. Many people feel confused because they chase one type and ignore the other. But when we understand both, we can build a more balanced and peaceful life. The first type is short-term happiness. Short-term happiness is connected to pleasure, fun, and excitement. It is the kind of happiness that makes you feel good very quickly. It is fast and strong, but it does not last long. You feel it, you enjoy it, and then slowly it disappears. For example, imagine you are watching a movie you really like. While you are watching it, you feel entertained. You laugh, you feel excited, and you forget your problems for some time. This is short-term happiness. It is real, and it is enjoyable. But when the movie ends, the feeling slowly becomes normal again. You go back to your daily life. Another simple example is buying new clothes. When you buy something new, you feel happy and excited. You may feel confident when you wear it. But after some days or weeks, it becomes just another piece of clothing in your closet. The strong excitement is gone. This does not mean buying new clothes is bad. It simply means that this type of happiness is temporary. Short-term happiness is like eating your favorite dessert. It tastes sweet and wonderful in the moment. But the taste does not stay in your mouth forever. Our brain is designed this way. It quickly gets used to good things. Psychologists sometimes call this adaptation. Now let us talk about the second type, which is long-term happiness. Long-term happiness is deeper and more stable. It is not only about feeling excited. It is about meaning, purpose, growth, relationships, and personal achievement. This type of happiness grows slowly, but it stays longer in our heart. Long-term happiness comes when you feel your life has direction. For example, if you are learning English and you practice every day, you may not feel strong excitement every single day. Sometimes you feel tired. Sometimes progress is slow. But after months of practice, when you see that you can speak better and understand more, you feel proud. You feel satisfied. This is long-term happiness. It is connected to growth. Relationships are also a big part of long-term happiness. When you build strong connections with family or friends, you feel supported. You feel understood. Even if you have problems in life, you know you are not alone. This creates emotional security. It is not loud or dramatic, but it is powerful and comforting. Purpose is another important part. When you believe that what you do matters, you feel meaningful happiness. For example, helping someone, teaching, creating something useful, or working toward a goal gives you a sense of purpose. This feeling is different from excitement. It is calmer, but deeper. Personal achievement also creates long-term happiness. When you set a goal and work hard to reach it, the journey itself gives you strength. The success at the end feels special because you earned it. And even after the excitement of success becomes normal, the confidence and experience stay with you. Now let us clearly understand the difference between these two types. Short-term happiness is fast, strong, and temporary. It usually comes from external things like entertainment, food, shopping, or praise. It gives quick pleasure, but it fades quickly. Long-term happiness is slower and quieter. It comes from internal growth, meaningful relationships, purpose, and achievement. It does not disappear easily. Think about it like this. Short-term happiness is like fireworks in the sky. They are bright and beautiful, but they last only a few seconds. Long-term happiness is like the sun. It rises slowly, and it stays for many hours. It gives steady light and warmth. Both types are important. Life would be boring without fun and excitement. Watching a movie, laughing with friends, or enjoying good food are beautiful parts of life. But if we only chase short-term pleasure, we may feel empty later. We may always look for the next exciting thing. On the other hand, if we only focus on goals and responsibilities without enjoying small pleasures, life may feel too serious and stressful. The key is balance. We need small moments of fun and pleasure to relax and enjoy life. At the same time, we need deeper meaning and growth to feel truly satisfied. When short-term happiness and long-term happiness work together, our life becomes richer and more stable. Understanding these two types helps us make better decisions. Before doing something, we can ask ourselves, is this only giving me short pleasure, or is it also building something meaningful? This simple question can guide us toward a happier and healthier life. When we learn to enjoy small fun moments, but also invest in purpose, relationships, and growth, we build a strong foundation of happiness that does not break easily. And this is one of the most important lessons in the psychology of happiness. Why our brain works this way. Now let us understand something very interesting and very important. Why does our brain work this way? Why do we enjoy short-term pleasure so much? Why do we sometimes feel happy for a short time and then the feeling disappears? The answer is inside our brain. First, we need to know that the brain likes pleasure. Our brain is designed to help us survive. In the past, human life was very difficult and dangerous. People needed food, safety, and connection to survive. So when they found food, when they were safe, or when they were accepted by a group, their brain gave them a good feeling. This good feeling was a reward. It told them, "This is good for you. Do it again." Even today, our brain works in a similar way. When we eat something tasty, our brain gives us a pleasant feeling. When someone praises us, we feel good. When we achieve something, we feel excited. The brain is saying, "This is important. This helps you. Repeat this behavior." So pleasure is like a reward system inside our head. Another important thing is that the brain wants safety. Safety is more important to the brain than happiness. If the brain must choose between being happy and being safe, it will always choose safety. That is why we sometimes worry too much. That is why we think about problems again and again. The brain is trying to protect us. This also explains why the brain remembers negative things more than positive things. If something bad happens, we remember it for a long time. But if something good happens, we may forget it quickly. This is not because we are negative people. It is because our brain is designed to notice danger. In the past, remembering danger helped humans survive. If someone forgot where a wild animal attacked, they could be in danger again. So the brain became very good at remembering negative experiences. Now let us talk about dopamine in a very simple way. Dopamine is a chemical in the brain. It is often called the feel-good chemical. When you do something enjoyable or achieve something important, your brain releases dopamine. This creates a feeling of pleasure and motivation. For example, when you finish a big task, pass an exam, or receive good news, dopamine increases. You feel excited and proud. But here is something important to understand. Dopamine is connected more to anticipation and reward than to long-lasting happiness. It gives you a strong feeling for a short time. That is why you feel very happy when you succeed at something. For example, imagine you worked hard for a promotion. The day you get the promotion, you feel extremely happy. Your brain releases dopamine. You celebrate. You feel successful. However, after some weeks or months, the promotion becomes normal. Your brain adapts. The strong excitement becomes weaker. This is natural. It does not mean the promotion was not important. It means the brain always returns to a normal level. This is one reason why happiness does not last forever in an intense way. Our brain is always searching for balance. When something very good happens, emotions go up. After some time, they slowly come back down. The same is true for negative emotions. When something bad happens, you feel sad or angry. But after some time, the feeling becomes weaker. The brain tries to keep emotional balance. This is why chasing only excitement does not bring long-term happiness. If you always look for the next big success, the next big purchase, or the next big pleasure, you may feel happy for short moments, but then your brain will adapt again. You will need something new to feel the same excitement. Understanding this is very powerful. It helps us become more patient with ourselves. If you feel happy today and less excited tomorrow, it is normal. If your success feels amazing at first and then becomes normal, it is also normal. The brain works this way. So what can we learn from this? First, we should not depend only on strong excitement for happiness. Second, we should build deeper sources of happiness, like relationships, growth, and meaning, because they create more stable satisfaction. Third, we should understand that negative thoughts are natural, but we do not have to believe all of them. The brain tries to protect us, but sometimes it worries too much. When we understand how our brain works, we stop fighting our emotions. We begin to work with our brain instead of against it. And this simple psychological understanding helps us build a more realistic and lasting form of happiness. Common myths about happiness. Now let us talk about some very common myths about happiness. A myth is something many people believe, but it is not completely true. These myths can control our thinking. They can also stop us from feeling happy in the present moment. So it is very important to understand them clearly. The first common myth is this: I will be happy when I am rich. Many people believe that money is the main key to happiness. They think that when they have a lot of money, all their problems will disappear. It is true that money can make life easier. Money can help us buy food, pay rent, travel, and feel more secure. Financial stability reduces stress, but money alone does not guarantee happiness. We can see many rich people who still feel lonely, stressed, or unhappy. After basic needs are met, more money does not always create more happiness. Why? Because happiness is not only about comfort. It is also about relationships, meaning, health, and inner peace. If someone is rich but has no strong relationships or no purpose, they may still feel empty inside. Another common myth is, "I will be happy when I get married." Many people believe that marriage or a relationship will automatically solve their emotional problems. They think that one person will complete them and make them happy forever. But this is not realistic. A relationship can bring joy, love, and support. It can increase happiness, but it cannot fix everything inside us. If someone feels unhappy and insecure before marriage, those feelings may still exist after marriage. A healthy relationship is built by two emotionally stable people. Marriage can add happiness, but it is not a magic solution. The third myth is, successful people are always happy. When we look at successful people, we see their achievements. We see their awards, money, fame, or power. From outside, their life looks perfect. But success does not remove stress, fear, or personal struggles. Successful people also face pressure. They also experience anxiety and disappointment. Sometimes success even creates new problems, more responsibility, more expectations, more public attention. So success can bring satisfaction, but it does not guarantee permanent happiness. Happiness depends on how a person manages their mind, not only on what they achieve. Another very common myth is, happiness means no problems. Many people think that happy people have easy lives. They believe that if someone is truly happy, they never feel sad, angry, or stressed. But this is not true. Every human being has problems. Every person feels negative emotions sometimes. Happiness does not mean the absence of problems. It means the ability to deal with problems in a healthy way. A happy person can still have difficult days. They can feel sad, but they do not lose hope. They do not believe that bad moments define their whole life. They understand that emotions change. One important reason these myths are strong is because of social media and movies. We usually see only the best moments of other people's lives. We see weddings, vacations, promotions, and smiling faces. We do not see arguments, fears, or quiet struggles. This creates an unrealistic picture of happiness. When we believe these myths, we postpone our happiness. We say, "I will be happy later. Later when I earn more. Later when I marry. Later when I become successful." But life is happening now. If we always wait for the future, we miss the present. The truth is simple. Money helps, but it is not everything. Marriage can bring joy, but it is not a guarantee. Success feels good, but it does not remove all stress. And happiness does not mean a problem-free life. Real happiness is more balanced. It includes good moments and bad moments. It includes effort and acceptance. It includes growth and gratitude. When we stop believing these myths, we stop chasing a perfect future. Instead, we start building small daily habits that create real and lasting happiness. Understanding these myths gives us freedom. It helps us focus on what truly matters. And that is a very powerful step in understanding the psychology of happiness. The psychology habits of happy people. Now let us move to one of the most important parts of our episode. We have talked about what happiness is, how the brain works, and the myths people believe. But now the big question is this: what do happy people actually do? What are their habits? Happiness is not only a feeling, it is also a practice. It is something we build with small actions every day. The first habit is gratitude. Gratitude means being thankful for what you have. It sounds simple, but it is very powerful. Our brain naturally focuses on problems. It notices what is missing. But gratitude trains the brain to notice what is already good. When you say thank you for small things, your mind slowly changes. For example, instead of thinking, my life is difficult, you can also say, I am thankful that I have food, a place to live, and people who care about me. Both sentences may be true, but the second sentence creates a different feeling. It creates calmness and appreciation. Let us practice a simple sentence together. You can repeat after me if you want. Today, I am grateful for one small good thing in my life. Say it slowly. Feel it. This kind of sentence may look small, but if you repeat it every day, your brain starts to search for good things automatically. The second habit is building strong relationships. Humans are social beings. We are not designed to live completely alone. Connection makes us feel safe and understood. When we talk to someone who listens to us, our stress becomes lower. When we share laughter with a friend, our mood improves. Strong relationships do not mean having many friends. It means having a few people you trust, people you can talk to honestly. Psychology shows that people with strong relationships live longer and feel happier. Why? Because connection gives emotional support. When life becomes difficult, you do not feel alone. The third habit is having a growth mindset. A growth mindset means believing that you can improve. It means understanding that skills are not fixed. You can learn. You can grow. You can become better with effort. For example, if you say, my English is bad and I will never improve, this is a fixed mindset. But if you say, my English is not strong yet, but I can improve with practice, this is a growth mindset. This small change in thinking creates hope, and hope is connected to happiness. When you believe you can grow, you feel motivated instead of helpless. Learning new things also keeps the brain active. It gives you a sense of progress. Even small improvements make you feel proud. Growth creates long-term satisfaction. The fourth habit is helping others. When we help someone, we feel good inside. This is not just emotional. It is biological. When you help, your brain releases positive chemicals. You feel warmth and connection. Giving creates meaning. Helping does not need to be something big. You can listen to a friend. You can share knowledge. You can support someone with kind words. These small actions build deep happiness. When you give, you feel valuable. You feel that your life has purpose. The fifth habit is self-acceptance. This is very important. Many people are too hard on themselves. They compare themselves to others. They focus only on their weaknesses. But happy people accept that they are not perfect. They understand that everyone has strengths and weaknesses. Self-acceptance does not mean you stop improving. It means you accept who you are while you grow. You say, I am not perfect, but I am still worthy. This reduces inner stress. When you stop fighting yourself, you feel more peaceful. Perfection does not exist. Every person makes mistakes. Every person has fears. When you accept this truth, you become kinder to yourself. And when you are kind to yourself, you can also be kind to others. If we look at these habits together, we see something interesting. None of them require a lot of money. None of them require fame. They are simple actions: gratitude, connection, growth, helping, and self-acceptance. These habits slowly change how your brain thinks and feels. Happiness is not something we find one day and keep forever. It is something we practice. It grows when we focus on good things. It grows when we build strong connections. It grows when we believe in improvement. It grows when we give. and it grows when we accept ourselves as human beings. If you want to become happier, you do not need to change your whole life in one day. Start with one small habit. Maybe tonight, write one thing you are grateful for. Maybe tomorrow, send a kind message to someone. Small steps create big changes over time. And this is one of the most powerful lessons in the psychology of happiness. Why we sometimes feel unhappy. Now let us talk about something very real and very honest. If happiness is possible, then why do we sometimes feel unhappy? Why do we feel stressed, jealous, or empty, even when our life looks okay from the outside? This part is important because it makes our discussion realistic. No one feels happy all the time. Understanding why we feel unhappy helps us manage it better. One big reason is comparison with others. We often compare our life to someone else's life. We compare our job, our income, our appearance, our relationships, and even our progress. For example, you may feel good about your English level, but then you meet someone who speaks better than you. Suddenly, you feel small or disappointed. Nothing changed about your skills, but your comparison changed your emotions. Comparison can remove joy very quickly. Instead of focusing on your own growth, you start focusing on someone else's success. You forget your own progress. This habit creates pressure and reduces happiness. It makes you feel that you are always behind. Social media makes comparison even stronger. On social media, people usually show their best moments. They post pictures of vacations, celebrations, achievements, and smiling faces. We do not see their problems, arguments, stress, or failures. So when we scroll through social media, we see a perfect life again and again. For example, you may be sitting at home on a normal day. You open your phone and see someone traveling to a beautiful place. Another person just got a promotion. Another person is getting married. Slowly, you may feel that your life is boring or slow. But the truth is, you are only seeing small highlights of their life. You are not seeing the full story. Another reason we feel unhappy is high expectations. Sometimes we expect too much from ourselves, from others, or from life. We want fast success. We want perfect relationships. We want everything to go according to our plan. When reality does not match our expectations, we feel disappointed. For example, you may think, by this age, I should already be very successful. Or, my partner should understand me perfectly. Or, I should never make mistakes. These expectations create pressure. When something goes wrong, instead of accepting it as normal, we feel like failures. Negative thinking is another powerful reason for unhappiness. Our brain, as we discussed before, focuses more on problems. Sometimes we repeat negative thoughts again and again. For example, you make one small mistake at work. Instead of thinking, it was just one mistake, you may think, I am not good enough. I always fail. One small event becomes a big negative story in your mind. Negative thinking can become a habit. If you always look at what is wrong, you train your brain to see problems everywhere. Even when good things happen, you may ignore them. This creates a dark emotional atmosphere inside you. Overthinking is also very common. Overthinking means thinking too much about a problem without finding a solution. You repeat the same situation in your mind again and again. For example, maybe someone said something that hurt you. Instead of letting it go, you replay the conversation many times. You imagine different answers. You imagine worst-case situations. This creates stress and anxiety. Overthinking usually does not solve the problem. It only makes the emotion stronger. The more you think about it, the more painful it feels. This can reduce happiness even when the problem is small. It is important to understand that these experiences are normal. Comparison, social media influence, high expectations, negative thinking, and overthinking are common human habits. You are not weak if you experience them. You are human. The key is awareness. When you notice that you are comparing yourself, you can gently remind yourself to focus on your own journey. When social media makes you feel bad, you can take a break. When your expectations are too high, you can make them more realistic. When negative thoughts come, you can question them. When you overthink, you can shift your attention to action. Unhappiness is not a permanent state. It is often a signal. It tells you that something in your thinking or behavior needs attention. When you understand the reasons behind it, you gain power. And when you gain awareness, you move one step closer to building real and balanced happiness. Practical steps to build happiness. Now let us move to something very practical. We have talked about psychology, the brain, habits, and reasons for unhappiness. But now the important question is this: what can we actually do every day to build happiness? Happiness is not only a theory. It is built through small daily actions. The good news is that these actions are simple. You do not need a lot of money or special skills. You only need consistency. The first simple step is to write 3 good things every day. This may sound small, but it is very powerful. Every night before you sleep, take a notebook or use your phone. Write 3 good things that happened during the day. They do not need to be big things. Maybe you had a nice cup of tea. Maybe someone smiled at you. Maybe you finished a small task. When you write these things, you train your brain to notice positive moments. Remember, the brain naturally focuses on problems. This exercise changes that habit. Over time, you will start seeing good things more easily. The second step is to talk to at least one person daily. Human connection is very important for happiness. You do not need long conversations. Even a short message or a small call can make a difference. You can ask someone how their day was. You can share a small story about your day. When you connect with others, you feel less alone. You also create emotional support. If you are shy, start small. Send a kind message. Say thank you. Smile at someone. These small social actions improve your mood slowly. The third step is to exercise for at least 15 minutes. You do not need to go to the gym for 2 hours. Just move your body. You can walk, stretch, do simple home exercises, or even dance in your room. When you move your body, your brain releases chemicals that improve your mood. Exercise reduces stress and increases energy. Many people say they do not feel motivated to exercise, but often motivation comes after action. Start with 5 minutes, then increase to 15. You will notice a difference in how you feel. The fourth step is to reduce phone time. This is very important in modern life. Many of us spend hours scrolling on social media. Too much phone time increases comparison and reduces focus. It can also increase anxiety. Try to set simple limits. For example, no phone for the first 30 minutes after waking up, or no phone 30 minutes before sleep. You can also remove unnecessary notifications. When you reduce phone time, you create space for real life, real conversations, and real rest. The fifth step is to practice deep breathing. This is simple but powerful. When you feel stressed or overwhelmed, stop for 1 minute. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Hold it for a few seconds. Then slowly breathe out through your mouth. Do this 5 times. Deep breathing calms your nervous system. It sends a signal to your brain that you are safe. This reduces anxiety and brings mental clarity. You can practice this anywhere, at work, at home, or before sleep. Now, let us see how these steps work together. Writing 3 good things changes your focus. Talking to one person builds connection. Exercising improves your body and mood. Reducing phone time protects your mental energy. Deep breathing calms your mind. None of these steps are difficult, but when you repeat them daily, they create strong positive habits. The key word here is consistency. Do not expect a big emotional change in one day. Happiness grows slowly. Just like learning English, improvement takes time. Small daily practice brings big results in the long term. You do not need to do all 5 steps perfectly from the first day. Choose 1 or 2. Start small. Be patient with yourself. Remember, happiness is not about perfection. It is about progress. When you take small actions every day, you are building a stronger and more peaceful life step by step. And that is how real happiness grows. Reflection. Questions for you. Now, before we move toward the closing of this episode, I want you to slow down for a moment. This part is very important. Listening is good, but reflection is powerful. When you reflect, you connect the ideas to your own life. So if possible, pause your other activities. Sit comfortably. Take a slow breath. And really think about the following questions. First question. What truly makes you happy? Not what looks impressive, not what makes others proud, but what genuinely makes your heart feel light. Is it spending time with family? Is it learning something new? Is it quiet time alone? Take a few seconds. Think about real moments from your life. Moments when you felt calm and satisfied, not just excited. Pause. Second question. When do you feel peaceful? Peace is different from excitement. Peace is quiet. It is stable. It may happen when you are walking alone, praying, reading, or talking to someone you trust. Try to remember the last time you felt deep peace inside. What were you doing? Who was with you? Understanding this helps you create more of these moments. Pause. Third question. Who makes you feel supported? Think about the people in your life. Is there someone who listens to you without judging you? Someone who encourages you? Someone who believes in you? If you have even one person like this, that is something very valuable. And if you do not, ask yourself how you can slowly build stronger connections. Pause. Fourth question. What small habit can you start today to improve your happiness? It does not need to be something big. Maybe writing 3 good things tonight. Maybe sending 1 kind message. Maybe walking for 15 minutes. Small habits create big changes over time. What is one simple action you can start after this episode? Pause. Fifth question. Are your expectations realistic? Sometimes we feel unhappy because we expect too much from ourselves or from life. Ask yourself honestly, are you giving yourself permission to grow slowly? Are you allowing yourself to make mistakes? Think about this carefully. Pause. Sixth question. Are you comparing yourself too much with others? And if yes, how does that comparison make you feel? Does it motivate you in a healthy way? Or does it reduce your confidence? Remember, everyone has a different timeline. Your journey is unique. Pause. Last question. If happiness is built daily, what kind of life do you want to build? Not just in the future, but starting now. What values are important to you? Growth, connection, peace, meaning. Take a moment and imagine a simple but meaningful life that feels right for you. Pause. These questions are not here to give you pressure. They are here to give you awareness. You do not need perfect answers. Just thinking about them is already progress. Reflection helps you understand yourself better. And when you understand yourself, you can build a life that matches your true needs. If you want, you can replay this part later and answer the questions in a notebook. You can even practice speaking by answering them out loud in English. This will improve both your self-awareness and your language skills. Take one more deep breath and slowly come back. As we come to the end of today's episode, let us bring everything together in a calm and simple way. We started with a big question: what is happiness? And step by step, we discovered that happiness is not only smiling, it is not only excitement, it is not money, marriage, or success alone. It is something deeper. It is a combination of positive emotions, meaning, growth, connection, and self-acceptance. We learned that our brain loves pleasure, but it also adapts very quickly. That is why strong excitement does not last forever. We understood that there are two types of happiness: short-term pleasure and long-term meaning. Both are part of life, but lasting happiness grows from purpose, relationships, and daily habits. We also talked honestly about why we sometimes feel unhappy. Comparison, social media, high expectations, negative thinking, and overthinking can reduce our joy. But awareness gives us power. The most important message of this episode is simple. Happiness is not a destination. It is not a place you arrive at one day and stay forever. It is not something waiting for you in the future, when everything becomes perfect. Happiness is a daily practice. It is built slowly, through small choices and small actions. You do not need to change your whole life tonight. You do not need to become a completely different person. Real change does not happen in one big moment. It happens in small steps. When you write 3 good things before sleep, you are building happiness. When you choose to speak kindly to yourself, you are building happiness. When you go for a short walk instead of scrolling for 1 more hour, you are building happiness. Small steps matter more than big promises. Consistency is stronger than motivation. Some days you will feel good. Some days you will feel tired. That is normal. Do not wait to feel perfect before you start. Start small, even on imperfect days. Remember, you are human. You will have problems. You will make mistakes. You will have doubts. Happiness does not mean removing all these things. It means learning how to live with them in a balanced way. It means choosing growth instead of comparison, gratitude instead of constant complaint, action instead of endless overthinking. As you finish this episode, I want you to feel calm, not pressured. This is not about becoming the happiest person in the world tomorrow. This is about becoming slightly better than yesterday. Just a little more aware, a little more intentional. So here is the final gentle reminder. Choose one small habit today. Not 5, just 1. Practice it consistently. Let it become part of your daily life. And slowly, without noise, without drama, you will notice a change inside you. Choose one small habit today. That is how happiness grows. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today here on Code Your English. I truly appreciate every single listener who chooses to press play and grow a little more each day. Your time is valuable, and the fact that you are using it to improve your English and your mindset at the same time is something you should feel proud of. If this episode helped you understand happiness in a deeper way, I encourage you to practice speaking with it. You can go back to some parts of this episode and repeat the sentences out loud. Pause after a question and answer it in your own words. Try to explain what happiness means to you. This is a powerful way to improve your fluency. Remember, speaking improves when you actually speak, not only when you listen. I would also love to hear your thoughts. What part of this episode touched you the most? Which habit do you want to start today? You can share your reflection in the comments or send your ideas. When you share, you not only practice English, but you also inspire others in this learning community. Your experience may help someone else feel less alone. And if you enjoy learning English in this simple and meaningful way, please consider subscribing to Code Your English. Here, we grow step by step. We improve our listening. We practice our speaking. And we learn ideas that help us build a better life at the same time. New episodes are waiting for you, and I would be very happy to continue this journey together. Until next time, keep practicing, keep reflecting, and keep coding your English, one small step at a time.